Good morning. So today is May 22nd and we're in week 2, okay? So your homework will be due on Wednesday midnight. Let me write that down. And remember that your homework needs to be in a Word document, okay? I've had some pictures. I do not allow pictures for homework, all right? Pictures are only for your screenshots, okay? For your daily attendance. And you only have daily attendance Monday and Tuesday. I know that your schedule says that our class is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but that is just to be able to populate the program and the classes, okay? So the reason that I do Monday and Tuesday is because that way you get your attendance in and I have it for the rest of the week and you don't have to worry about it, okay? And then with my class, you're basically done by Wednesday, and so you have the rest of the days and your weekend to study for your other classes that you really need to study, because for my class, you don't need to study. You just need to do your work, all right? So your work needs to be done. Screenshot daily attendance, okay? Needs to be a screenshot, and that's going to be Monday and Tuesday. And Mondays I will put up the homework, okay? So you have to pay very close attention and you have to take notes, all right? I've had some students, they're like, what's the homework? Part of what you have to do in my class is part of building up your skills. Everything that you have to do in my class is that you're developing skills and you're building them up, okay? So first you have to take notes. First you have to read, okay? There's a lot of people that are like, I don't know, this and that, whatever, and I've watched the video. Watch it again, okay? Sometimes I might be confusing or say dates wrong, but usually there's 1 or 2 or 3 students that catch it, and I go back and do a correction. Other than that, if you're not understanding it, go back and reread it. Go back and view it, because you have the ability to see me through your videos, and so that facilitates it, okay? So if you call me and tell me what's the homework, I don't work that way. You have to go back and view it. And if you're too lazy to view the videos, then, this is an online class and I don't ask for much. So you need to go back and view the videos. And part of what I'm developing for you is for you to have the ability to read the instructions and be able to do whatever it is that is required, and also be able to see the video, watch the video, and be able to understand it and review it, okay? And be able to, from there, the instructions, be able to do appropriate instructions. I've had a lot of instructions that were not followed. If you do not follow the instructions and the homework is wrong, I will not accept it. So if you turn in your homework, okay, not your screenshot, in a picture, unless otherwise I directed you and I approved it for whatever reason, you cannot do it, and you're not going to get credit for it, okay? There was also, for the most part, your homework was excellent, okay? I had one specific class that was just amazing with the homework, okay? They put in their title with their Word document. Every single student in that class did a Word document, okay? Make sure that you don't, upload your homework with a PDF. I want it to be in a Word document. Everything that I tell you in terms of instructions are specific to the instructions, and there's a reason for it, okay? You're learning how to do it in Word document. You're learning how to upload it, okay? You're learning how to, have the differences between PDF and a Word document. All that is super, super important. The other thing is that being able to read and being able to follow the instructions is super, super important. If you can't follow the instructions for your nurse or your doctor, and you do something completely different than what was asked for you, you can kill somebody, okay? Or that person's not going to get the right medication or whatever. That's why it's super and vital important for you to really understand and for you to make sure that you are following instructions correctly. If you cannot follow instructions in my class, okay, that I want a Word document, that I want a title for the Word document with your name and the class and the section and your assignment, right? If it's, if it's test 1 and 2, if it's, objectives 1 through 6 with, 1 through 18 problems, then you write that in. English 145, activities so and so and so and so. Then you write all that in, okay? If you cannot follow instructions, you will not be able to follow instructions with what really matters. And your all's career has to do with life and death, okay? And healing. And so it's imperative that you understand what the instructions are. The other thing is that when you are in business, okay, and pharma is a business, okay, pharmaceutical, medical industry is a business, okay, you're in it because you have your heart in it, but in the end, it's the bottom line, it's business, okay, and they make tons and tons of money. I mean, unbelievable, and they all have us under some sort of medication for whatever reason. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. I've been taking allergy medication, I think, all my life. So that's very nice, substantial income. That's on a monthly basis, okay? Because if I don't have my medication, I can't breathe because I have asthma. And then, of course, my allergies get super, super bad. And it triggers my asthma, so I won't be able to, you know, breathe, right? And so very interesting. So in the end, you are in it, right? Because you want to make a difference, but you also have to follow the instructions. And so if you cannot follow the instructions with me, it's going to be, you know, life-threatening, you know, with in your career, because your career, unlike mine, right? Mine is education. So if your teacher didn't teach you or whatever, well, you don't lose anything. With you guys, you can do major damage because you maybe misheard, or you didn't hear the instructions right, and it's sort of, you know, it's sort of what I'm telling you, I want a Word document and you're doing something else, you know, so maybe, you know, you missed the medical, you know, the medicine, or maybe the quantity, right, or maybe you think that, you know, you can get away with it. So be mindful, okay, because my class, I'm setting you up for life, okay, I'm not setting you up for English. My class is about learning how to navigate the system, being able to do it in a different platform, which is online, and you being able to figure it out through instructions, through you know, problem solving. I had a student, and you know, thank you so much for that student that, you know, contacted me. So she contacted me late on Friday, and she said, Miss, I don't know what to do. I am not understanding, and my colleagues are saying that I have to do this. And so I said, well, send me a screenshot, because she didn't make sense what she was telling me. And when you communicate with me, I need to know your name, I need to know your section and your class, okay? Whether it be English 133 or English 145. And if you don't know them, you need to start learning them. You need to start learning the vocabulary and the lingo for whatever career it is that you're in, okay? So, and then you have to tell me, you know, because I have several classes, so I don't know if it's business communication, I don't know if it's reading comprehension 133, I don't know if it's, you know, technical writing 145, whatever it is, okay? So I need to know, and I also need to go back and check to see where you're at and what it is that, you know, that we're that you're doing. So there's a lot of stuff when you call me that, or when you communicate with me, that I have to check in order to answer your question. I can't just out of the blue answer it because there's information that I need, okay? So don't think that I'm being difficult, and don't think that I'm not wanting to help you, okay? You know, so you can reach out at any time. If I'm available, I will answer, okay? Just be mindful. Anyway, so going back to the student, she's like, Miss, this doesn't match up, and what my colleagues are saying is this, and I'm like, they're wrong, okay? So there was a miscommunication, okay? Or not a miscommunication, the instructions weren't being followed, all right? And I can see how it could be, you know, difficult and maybe misunderstood, but let me tell you one thing, okay? If your teacher, or if the instructions say, I'm gonna take that specific class for an example, okay? We have objectives, and the objectives are 1.1 through 1.6. So that chapter covers 6 objectives, okay? Within those 6 objectives, what they had to do is that each objective had certain questions in it, and that was their assignment. They had to answer certain questions within those objectives. The whole gist of it is that in my instructions, I said there's questions 1 through 18, all right? So she went back and she couldn't find the questions because they didn't match, which is appropriate because it was an incorrect homework assignment that they were looking at, okay? If I'm telling you that there's 18 questions, I might be wrong, okay? But if you can't, so then you check on it, because if it's like, if you can't find it, it's not there, or, you know, just check with me. But usually I have it pretty well set, okay? So if I'm telling you that there's 18 questions, then there's probably 18 questions. And if you can't find the 18 questions and you're doing something that just has like 5 questions, or has, you know, 3 objectives, or has 5 objectives, it's probably not the correct homework. The beauty of this is that you are problem solving, okay? And the issue with the problem solving, the beauty about problem solving is that we are all problem solvers, and that is the name of the game in life. You need to be able to solve your own problems, and your own problems are specific to you. So the best way, and the more that you learn how to solve your problems, the better it is to be able to navigate through your life, because everything is going to be something that you're going to have to solve. So if the instructions don't match what you're seeing, and you're getting mixed information from colleagues that you think that but the information is not matching up to the instructions, and you can't find that section of what they're telling you in the instructions and whatever, ask. Okay, because there's a problem, and there's something that has been miscommunicated, or something that you have misunderstood, and that's how you get through life. So she said, Miss, look, this is what my colleagues say. And I said, that's not correct. This is it. And she says, oh yes, I found it. So she had found it originally, but because her colleagues were wrong, okay, she thought that she was doing it wrong, and she couldn't find what they were talking about, and it didn't match whatever. And so she was very confused, which makes perfect sense. So make sure that you ask, and make sure that you, work through it. The other thing is that don't wait till the last minute. You know what I mean? Because if I wouldn't have answered her, she would have probably done the wrong assignment, okay? So very, very interesting. There's something else really important that I was going to tell you about assignments, and that I was going to tell you about problem solving. Allow yourself enough time within the deadline, so that way if there's anything that's a problem, you can resolve it, okay? I always have my deadlines done a week before. Okay, in this case, we can't, right? But I always have it done then maybe like a day before. So that way I make sure that I check, and that I'm on the right one, because I'm always worried that I'm not understanding correctly, or that I'm going to do a wrong assignment. And let me tell you, you guys get a lot of breaks, okay? So, when I went to college, you got a wrong assignment and you were screwed, okay? I mean, if you misunderstood, you were screwed. And when I went to school, we only had a midterm and a final. That's it for the class. We never had any type of homework. We never had any type of learning activities. It was absolutely crazy the way we passed, okay? Because you either got it or you didn't. There was no leeway for anything, okay? So that. The other thing, so just make sure that you communicate, and you allow yourself for enough time in order to be able to correct something that possibly might come up. If you're calling me like on week 1 or 2 and tell me that your book doesn't work, that's not a good sign, okay? Especially if you've never opened it up, which, you obviously don't know how to navigate. I'm gonna understand, and I'm gonna know all those things. I'm gonna know that you haven't opened up your book. I'm gonna know that, you haven't navigated through the book, if through your chapters. Every time I assign a chapter, you need to read the chapter, okay? That's part of the deal. And I'm no different from any other class, other than you don't have to come physically. The only difference is that I'm a little bit easier, or a lot easier, and you could really optimize my class and get 100, okay? As I've mentioned before, if you don't get 100 in my class, you really need to reevaluate your life, because if you are failing my class, that means you're not doing well anywhere else, okay? That means that you're struggling through life, and you're probably struggling, at least in my specific class, there's no point in struggling in my class, because in my class, everything is super, super easy, okay? So if you're struggling elsewhere, that's a concern, all right? I will be in the library today from 9 to 11. Oh, braces, I'm so sorry. They're going to come out. 9 through 11. And so if you have any questions, or you have anything, okay, that you need to review, or you need me to get you organized, come on by and come meet me, okay? There was something really important about homework, but I guess it'll come anyway. So huge issue there, a huge lecture there on that. And know that I am here to help you, and know that I want you to succeed, okay? but you need to do the work, okay? So when you tell me that you've watched the videos a million times, you still don't get it, that means you need to take notes. And I do have timestamps, okay? So make sure that, you address the timestamps as well. It's easier, so that way you don't have to navigate through whatever it is that you navigate. So anyway, moving right along to homework, all right? Homework another thing, for discussion boards, I will be opening those up probably on Wednesday. I'll open up last week's and this week. They're usually lectures, and they're usually, like lessons, okay? My discussion boards are very different. Usually you're supposed to have a question, whatever, but I don't feel that that's productive, at least not in my class. So what I give you is a video that you have to watch, and then hopefully it'll be some sort of insightfulness in it. You just comment on that, and then you have to comment on to other colleagues. But, usually it's a video on something, so, usually how to interview. This week's will probably be APA paper that we've written, okay? So anyway, so that'll be available, so you could really check that out. And this homework is due on Wednesday midnight, okay? So here we go. English 145, A500, and A501. You have to do this in a Word document. You have to title it, and you have to upload it on SU. In your title, you put in your name, the class, the section, and the homework, and whatever the homework is, okay? And then of course you put my name on it, and then you upload it. So this is English 145, and you're going to be doing activities 1, 2, 3, and 7. Remember that you need to read the whole chapter. This is chapter 2, and you're going to copy and paste the question, all right? And you're going to copy and paste the answer. As you all know, the answers are there, so all you have to do is just copy and paste it. There's no reason why nobody should turn it in, and there's no reason why anybody should not have 100% on that, okay? So activity 1, 2, 3, and 7 for English 145, A500, and A501. So this is English 133, okay, A500 and A501. Remember that you need to read chapter 1, and then you need to do your homework in a Word document, okay? And you need to upload that onto SU. Your Word document needs to be titled. It has to have your classroom, your section, my name, and then of course the homework, okay? So you will be doing, the tests are at the end of the chapter. They are not, I will not be counting them as tests, but that's what we're using for homework, okay? So your tests will be your homework assignment, and that's what they're called, and they're at the end of the chapter. So you're gonna have to copy and paste the question and then put in the answer. So you're gonna have test 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So English 133, A500, and A501, you're gonna have test 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is what you're going to do for homework. Moving to business communication, A500 and A501. At the end of the chapter, you're going to have to read chapter 2. You have learning objectives checkup, okay? You're going to have objectives 2.1 through 2.7. That means that those objectives will be reviewed, and you will go through those objectives within the questions, okay? So I want you to copy and paste the objectives onto your Word document that has your title with your class, your section, your homework, and Miss Irvine and your name, okay? And you will be copying and pasting on those to a Word document, and there will be questions 1 through 19. They're all multiple choice, so you can either copy and paste the whole thing and highlight the question, or you can copy and paste the objective and then copy and paste the question and then copy and paste the answer with the multiple choice letter that's attached to it. Your choice. Overall, I had everybody do what was asked for them, but there was a lot of incomplete assignments that you all turned in last week. I will not be accepting an incomplete, okay? And there's some that had pictures. I will not be accepting pictures. There's some people that wrote out the questions and all that. You're working too hard, okay? That's not what my assignment is about. My class, it's about really, taking advantage and optimizing the skills that you have learned through, all the platforms and all the technology that we have available, okay? So for chapter 2, you're going to have to read it. You're going to have to do learning objective checkup, which is at the end of the chapter. You have objectives 2.1 through 2.7, okay, and questions 1 through 19. Make sure you copy and paste it onto a Word document with the answer, whether you highlight it or whether you just put the answer, but it has to be the complete answer, and it has to be the question as well, and it has to be the letter assigned to it because it's multiple choice. Okay, that concludes it. Love and light. Ciao.